What's going on, Born for Sports? And tonight, the New York Knicks with just a embarrassing performance tonight. They got beat up by the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight, 126-101, and it wasn't even that close. Well, last week, we saw the New York Knicks go into Oklahoma City and play a hell of a game. They played a hell of a game, and a game that if you saw from beginning to end, you felt like, hey, they showed they can play with the big boys, and they probably had as good a chance to beat OKC as any team this year did going into that game. And they controlled that game last week, but they let it slip away in the last 7 minutes and they got beat. Well, tonight was the total opposite as the New York Knicks they were just outclassed tonight, just straight up outclassed, I thought, tonight. And I'll talk about it in a second, but you got to give credit to Oklahoma City. They have been doing this to teams, as I mentioned last week. They have been doing this to teams all season, and they showed once again why they are the title contenders, why might be the favorite to win the NBA title, especially in the Western Conference, to at least come out of the Western Conference, and also showing that the New York Knicks have a long way to go to beat a team like Oklahoma City. Okay? They're in a class on their own right, as far as I'm concerned, with OKC. Okay? But tonight was their night. It started off a sluggish first 8 minutes of the first quarter, and that was it. Thunder didn't look back. And I thought that the New York Knicks had no answers for this Thunder defense, which is the top-ranked defense in basketball. I mean, they are just special defensively, man. They really are, and they do this to teams all year. Now, the Knicks are one of the elite offenses in the league so far this year, statistically, but they got manhandled tonight. It was just a struggle, man, just a struggle. They had no answers. Clearly, the Oklahoma City coaching staff did a very good job with scouting and adjusting to what the Knicks did well last week, because they held the Knicks to a season low, 38.5% from the field. And the Knicks only shot 4 for 32 from three. Just ugly numbers from three-point range. But realistically, the Knicks had no answers, man. They had no answers. They trapped the Knicks. They sent help and collapsed Towns a lot of times when they went at Brunson. And, Brunson did what he could. Brunson and Towns, they had a usual solid game, but it just didn't happen for the rest of the squad. Hart as well, but it was just no answers. They had no answers tonight for this defense. And, OG and Bridges, man, a complete no-show tonight. I mean, listen, OG and Bridges combined for 4 points. They're not going to beat an elite team with a game like that. And something that will not happen many times as for our Knicks, but it happened tonight. And just a terrible, terrible performance from Mikal Bridges, man. I mean, Mikal Bridges couldn't hit a shot at all. He was 0 for 9 from the field. 0 for 9, man. Just a brutal way for these two guys to play. The Knicks, I have said many times, they have probably the best starting five in the league, if not one of the best. Tonight, there was no starting five tonight. There was none. It was just two and a possible, like a spades game. And that possible was Josh Hart. That's it. Bridges and OG, no show, got to be better going forward. Got to be better, and they will bounce back. But you got to give Oklahoma a lot of credit, man. Their defense is elite, and it shows. They're very long, athletic. They play well together. Their scheme is very solid, and they just did a hell of a job tonight, And as far as the Oklahoma City offense, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, like the Knicks had no answers for SGA. Yeah, they had no answers. 39 points, in 29 minutes, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 15 or 21 from the field. Just did whatever he wanted. For the most part, the Knicks defense was a no-show as well. The energy was low, and they just didn't get the job done tonight, man. Constant dribble penetration from the Oklahoma City guards, and they couldn't miss from three. They could not miss from three. Joe had a phenomenal game for their team. Let's see, he scored 31 points, 11 of 16 from the field, 8 of 11 from three. Just the man was unconscious. This whole OKC team just played a complete game. They were coming off a tough loss to Cleveland the other night, and they wanted to come. They clearly showed they wanted to come out and they wanted to go show that hey, we're gonna get this back in gear, and they did that tonight, no doubt about it. So give credit to Oklahoma City, but in my opinion, I have to speak on it. The Knicks have to start beating elite teams, man. They have to start beating elite teams because they got outclassed tonight. There was no doubt about it. They got outclassed tonight. The Knicks will have their chances this year to beat these elite teams, but they've gotten a few chances so far. I believe they're probably 0-5 against the elite teams right now. Sooner or later, you got to start beating those teams, especially if you want to be taken, seriously in the league and, this particular team. The Knicks will be fine going forward. There's no doubt in my mind they'll be fine going forward. But this is a learning curve, and this is a game that humbles you and should catapult this team going forward to have that hunger to say, hey, we still got work to do. And it showed tonight, and I have no doubt the Knicks will get right and get better as the season goes on, but they're not a perfect team. They're not a perfect team, and they're still a work in progress. And if they want to take their place as a contender for an NBA title, they're going to have to start beating elite teams. And I've said it, I'm on record as saying, I believe the Knicks are contenders in the Eastern Conference, but tonight they showed they're not on OKC's level. Work to do. All in all, tough performance tonight. Not a good one. Knicks got to bounce back. And the next game for that opportunity to bounce back is Sunday against the Bucks at home. So let's see what happens. Knicks got to step up, and I'm sure they will. Like and subscribe to Born for Sports. Let's go Knicks.